Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So there's been a third arrest in regard to the breach of the voting machines in Mesa County, Colorado. And the man who was allowed to illegally make copies of the machine's hard drive has finally officially been identified. So here's the deal. An ally of indicted county clerk Tina Peters has been arrested in connection to the illegal breach of the Dominion voting machine. And this was after the 2020 election. Her name is Sandra Brown, and she's the former elections manager for the county. I've mentioned her before. Peters, as you guys will probably recall, had already been arrested. She's the one who Mike Lindell had hiding out in a safe house, supposedly. So she and her deputy clerk, Belinda Nisley, had already been arrested, and they were indicted by a grand jury on numerous crimes. I believe it was like 10 different crimes, felonies and misdemeanors, all stemming from their involvement in this granting of access to the voting machines to this unauthorized person, this man. They gave him a former employee's key card to the government building. That's how he accessed the building. And I recently shared with you guys how the prosecutor went point by point. They proved with surveillance video evidence that all of the allegations that they had of election tampering were completely false. The video also showed that Brown knew that many of their allegations were false, and she helped them cover it up. So according to the prosecutor, she lied about the identity of this man and the employment of this man, the one who made the hard drive copies. And Brown is also implicated in helping Peters turn off the surveillance cameras prior to this man entering the room. They clearly didn't want him to be videotaped. And according to Nisley's testimony, this unauthorized man had to leave before the hard drive copy was complete. So Brown had to finish the process for him. And then she and Peters mailed the copy of the drive to this man, to this unauthorized person. So an arrest warrant was issued for Brown. This was last week. She turned herself in on Monday of last week. She's now facing charges of attempt to influence a public servant and conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation. The man who entered the building illegally and made the hard drives is still under investigation, but we now know who he is. We now know his identity for sure. There were people out there talking that they thought they knew who he was, but now we know for sure. And he's tied to Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. This man, this unauthorized person who they let into the building, is a California resident. His name is Conan James Hayes, and he's fairly well known in the election denier conspiracy world. You know, he hangs out with Mike Lindell and people like that. Now, here's how he's tied to Boebert. Brown's affidavit for her arrest referenced Hayes, and it stated that he was in Mesa County in May 2021 during the time that they were doing this trusted build of the Dominion machine. Now, my lay understanding of this is that a trusted build refers to the resetting of the software, and this is just standard protocol following an election. The prosecutor has confirmed that he was in fact there during this time, and they did this through his cell phone records. They also got flight records, and then they also located his hotel reservation for that date. Guess who paid for his hotel stay? Not Lauren Boebert. I know you were hoping it was her, but it was her former campaign manager. So remember, Tina Peters told the authorities that Lauren Boebert encouraged her to breach the machines. That's what she says. I don't know why she would make that up, but ruh-roh. So that's the election nutfuckery going on in Colorado. Now, in other coup news, Georgia Congressman Jody Hice was issued a subpoena by the Fulton County District Attorney. This was to appear before the grand jury reviewing Trump's alleged coup attempt in that state. Hice is a very big supporter of Trump. He was one of the congressmen who objected to his state's electors in casting their votes for Biden. He met with that group in the White House to discuss ways to overturn the election. This was in December of 2020. Also in December of 2020, he tweeted to his followers and he lied to them. He said, quote, "The courts refused to hear the president's legal case. We're going to make sure the people can." Yeah, they heard the cases, dude. Over 60. They said, nope, computer says no. So he was supposed to appear before the grand jury today. But yesterday, he filed a motion to quash in federal court. And he said that basically any investigation he did into election, quote, irregularities were within his purview as a member of Congress. So he said that his actions, or rather his attorney is saying his actions, are therefore protected from legal proceedings under the Constitution. So a hearing for that matter has been set for July 25th. I will keep you guys posted on that. But the discovery of, this new subpoena and these new arrests and Lauren Boebert being involved, I mean, that's new and fun. Michael Cohen warned them. Michael Cohen warned Republicans to stop protecting Trump and to stop doing his bidding. He told them, I've been there. I know what you're doing. I wrote the playbook. You guys are going to go down for this. Mark my words. They didn't listen. So womp womp and thoughts and prayers. Anyway, guys, I'll let you know when I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.